Hey everyone, my name is Eric. I'm a multi-systemic therapist at North Range Behavioral Health. The MST team is one of our evidence-based models, home-based family therapy options. This service is provided to focus on both relational and behavioral work with families. Our program is intended to support family remaining in the community and with the home. We place a high emphasis on empowering caregivers and supporting them to build skills and strategies to interface with their youth. And we're a behavior-focused model as well. As an MST therapist, a portion of my work is also spending time supporting families and partner with other agencies like school, the juvenile justice system, child welfare system, and other community resources. I hope the time we spend together today can provide us with some ideas on how you can support your family and child. If you didn't tune in last week, my coworker Rebecca, as well from the MST team, did a great job at discussing strategies for staying connected and involved with your teenager and the people in their life. Today we're talking about understanding teens' communication and how to respond to button pushing. Next week, we're going to have Tanya with the benefits of limits and structures for teenagers. So what we're discussing today is based off Alfred Adler's goal-directed behavior. Ultimately, it's like how behaviors emerge and what the meaning behind behaviors that you see is. So, yeah, there's been a mistaken goals chart, which is what this is, what we're going over today, that has been developed off that model in theory. So as with most things that we do, we can take a drink of our coffee for coffee with the counselor. As with most things that we do, these skills start with the parent, the caregivers first. They are to remain in control of their emotions. They have to react out of logic, act out of logic rather than react out of emotion. It's easy to fall into the pitfall of, boy, here we go again. They know better, and though this is true, we're the adults. We need to remain calm, and we need to help guide the kids into better choices from a place of logic. We can do this by teaching the kids and showing them how adults respond, regardless of how difficult the behaviors become and how much we do want to respond. But no, we need to remain in control of our emotions and react from logic. Some of the fundamental skills that we're going to be using is consistency and follow-through. That's something that, are very much the pillars of teaching kids. They have to know what to expect based on their behaviors. Yep. You can do this by talking with other parents. You can help like an aunt or a mother-in-law or a teacher know what you're doing and coordinate with them on the behaviors you're seeing in your kid and how you're responding, and how consistency and follow-through are kind of big parts to the success of teaching your kid. Kids are excellent button pushers and they're excellent boundary pushers. You might have heard the phrase, like, that's not the same kid I dropped off. That's not the same kid I picked up. And it's because they can learn like how they can get away with things or what boundaries are set with different people. So coordination is definitely a big part of what I would encourage. They need to learn that the appropriate responses are consistent no matter where you are. And not doing so or having different responses could lead to targeting other parents in their lives and our caregivers are in their life, and it could present some challenging dynamics. So the first one we're talking about is undue attention. There's motivations behind this behavior, which we'll get to. Ultimately, though, you'll notice that this is happening with the kids will try and get special services. They may be hiding in a coat rack if they're in a teacher's room, and the teacher stops the entire class and they're like, hey, you come here. Maybe they show off more or start clowning around more, become hyperactive. Yeah, and that's the undue attention behavior that you're seeing. Another way you can notice it is, minor mischief. Maybe they persistently have difficulty with homework, and you have to set them aside specifically to help them with that task. You could tell if this undue attention is the motivated behavior. It's mistaken goals, like that's what they're going for. If you maybe feel annoyed, that might be something that you feel in yourself, and you're like, oh, they're looking for attention. And then you can respond with a way to help guide their behaviors where they get their attention in a more adaptive way. You may think the child is a nuisance, he's constantly interrupting, he's taking too much of your time, and it's not justifiable. You may give in for a while, but you gradually become impatient, and you're likely to scold the child. So yeah, those are your personal cues that you can help key into what behavior you're dealing with. Adults tend to react by reminding, coaxing, doing things for the child, perhaps that they can do themselves. They could become upset, annoyed, irritated, and they could react from this place. And as we know, that is one thing that we want to avoid as much as possible. You could yell at them, and if that happens, they got you. The belief behind this behavior is I count and I belong when I'm being noticed. Give me special attention. I'm important when I'm keeping the adult in my life busy. So all well and good. We might have an understanding of that, but what do we do with it? Again, consistency and follow through, fundamentals. But ultimately, what we want to do is know what's going on and help meet that need in an adaptive way. So, ignore the attention-getting behavior. If we're talking about the kid hiding in the coat rack and stalling class from starting, you want to ignore that behavior. So don't pay attention to it, so that need isn't met, and you're reinforcing that this is not how I get attention, but instead do things like give opportunities for positive attention. So that could come in a way of just doing a simple thing successfully and then encouraging that behavior. So ignore that attention-getting behavior, give no reinforcement for the negative behavior, provide the child with opportunities for positive attention, and reinforce that, because that way the kid is learning that when I need attention, when I'm looking for attention, I get it by this adaptive way. And then constantly do that as much as you can. This is something I teach over and over, and to all my families, is always encourage. If the kid does something that you're proud of, that you respect, that you want to see again, encourage that behavior. That's the external influences that hopefully translate with consistency and follow through to that internal influence where they say, like, it's a good idea to do this because the outcomes are going to be better for me. Only action helps, not words. The child needs to learn that to feel good from an accomplishment and their contributions. So that's what you're teaching them when you reinforce the positives. So that is a little bit on undue attention. I wanted to go back to this. The child's belief is I belong when I'm being noticed, when I'm getting special services, and I'm important when I'm keeping you busy. So you want to meet that need in a productive way. So the way you're going to understand that that's happening again is by what's happening in you. So, control your emotions, things from logic, but also be aware of what's happening with you, inside of you, You might feel annoyed, and you might think like, oh, here they go again. So yeah, that's a good way to understand what the motivation for the behavior is. Moving on, we'll look at misguided power. You may have seen this one as well. This one's fun. I guess, maybe what the kid is saying when they're trying to seek this power, trying to figure out how to use it, is you're not the boss over me. I do as I please. I have control over this situation. I'm the one in the power of this situation. I'm going to show you. Personal cues, so the way that you know that this is likely the motivation for the behavior, is you might feel challenged, you might feel threatened, you might feel defeated. This could show itself by like refusing to do chores, maybe lying, maybe disobeying, maybe using a temper, maybe like a temper tantrum, like I'm going to get what I want and I'm going to do it by an outburst of behavior. Maybe they try and give orders or pout or cry until they can have their way. It's quote unquote water power. So, pout or cry. There's also the temper one, in which that one's we definitely want to heat off, because that becomes a aggression as a functioning behavior, and cutting those off early are going to be beneficial for the child as they grow to an adult. Another way you're going to know what's happening, and another way you're going to check yourself, remain in logic, and stay out of emotion, is by know how you react. If you tend to react by fighting or giving in, maybe you think like they can't get away with it, or I'll make you. I'm the adult here. Those are some of your thoughts, or some of the things that you tend to react by. Maybe you feel angry, you feel defeated, you feel frustrated. You may feel that your authority is being challenged or threatened, and you enforce it progressively. With that perspective, what you're going to have is a continued escalation. If you keep trying that, the kid's going to try harder, and then it just builds on itself, and it can become out of hand. So maybe a good next step is to know what's going on underneath that, so the child's belief. I belong when I'm in the boss. I belong when I'm in control, or when I can prove that no one can boss me around. Try and think of an example. You can't make me yet, or I'll make you. You can't make me do my chores. Might be a cue that that's what's happening. This can intensify and become more defiant, or, as you challenge more. A good thing to do here is give choice. Offer, or maybe a small thing that the kid can help you with, so that you're giving them power by choice. So you're offering them autonomy in a productive way, rather than challenging them in a power struggle. So just a little bit of a tweak on there. So ultimately, withdraw from power struggle, set your firm boundaries, set your limits, and take action without getting angry. You can choose your own action, and so can the child. Again, that's the power struggle kind of building on itself and can escalate, but ultimately withdraw from that. Set limits, offer autonomy, and allow the kid to follow through. If you already have your expectations kind of set in place, again, follow through, and the kid will know what to expect. So that's the consistency. That is a good way to do that. And again, bringing other adults into the kid's life by, talking to teachers, talking to other caregivers, maybe the mother-in-law or father-in-law who offer care for the child. Redirect positive power by asking for help. Limited choices. You don't want to offer anything, but offer choices. That's a good tactic as well. Hey, you can either do this or you can do this to help me, and then reinforce the positive if they make the right choice and going with, because that's the behavior we want to see. So always encourage and always reinforce the positives that you want to see. But again, keep them limited and keep them in a way that you can manage, right? Don't fight, don't give in, withdraw from conflict, be firm, act kind, act, don't talk. That's a key one, is that if you say like I'm going to do something, you follow through. That's a big one. Let routine be the boss. If the child knows that these are the expectations when they go to Nana's house, and that happens on Wednesdays and Thursdays, let routine be the boss. That's a quality tactic that will help you down the road. Definitely, if you find yourself getting escalated, leave and calm down. There's mutual respect in that. Let them know when you'll come back, but leave, calm down, and then come back when you're ready with follow through. So yeah, set reasonable limits, practice follow through. Always encourage, and again, use the other adults in the life. You could even schedule, plan time with that coordination of with the kid. So if they're like trying to use their power and you're engaging in a power struggle, plan something that the kid can look forward to and have access to if they meet their goals, right? So that's that autonomy and offering limited choices pieces. The last one on the button pushing and motivations to kids' behaviors is revenge, that we'll talk about today. There's more, but this is where we are. Revenge. Likely the kid's belief behind this is you hurt me and you don't care about me. So what they believe, underlying that is I'll hurt you back. And they're likely to figure out where you're most vulnerable. So they know the heartstrings, they know how to pull them, they know how to pull you in. They're experts at that. Remember to stay in logic and use your tactics to do that, because we don't want to react from emotion. We want to act from a place of logic. Your personal cues is you could feel hurt or disappointed. You could be in disbelief. Like, I can't believe they would do that. Like, that's so hurtful. Could even feel disgusted. Like, oh my gosh, my kid can do that. And then it could lead to verbal or physical as well. And that's peers, animals, self, anything that could be used by them maladaptively. Adults tend to react by feeling hurt. They may think of the kid as mean, nasty, and they may even want to get back at the child. Where the adults come at it with logic. Retaliating or thinking to yourself, how could they do this to me? Not effective. Pull yourself out of that in a way that you can, So don't allow that validation to that attempt, I guess, as much as you can. Again, yes, this is another time that, if you take that tactic, it will just build on itself and escalate to things getting higher. Child's belief behind this is, I don't think I belong, so I'll hurt others as I feel hurt. If you lash out at the child, he or she switches, and they again build on that and become more escalated. So yeah, show them that you're loved, or we'll get there. Yep. Yeah, maybe another belief is I can't be loved or I can't be liked, so I'm going to hurt others as I feel hurt. I don't belong. I'll hurt others. Yeah, and, you want to take the proactive response to avoid that cycle and that escalation, especially if the child or if the adult is stubborn. That can be a pitfall. So let's avoid that. Proactive and empowering responses. Again, don't take the attack personally. Try not to feel hurt. Try to be friendly and empathetic with the kid. You want to understand, even though we feel hurt, we need to have our tactics for knowing what's going on, understanding what's motivating that kid's behavior, and respond appropriately. So find out what's bothering the kid. Let the kid express what's up with them. Help them find their words and use their words, and make them feel safe. Like, this is a safe place to be upset. I'm here to support you and validate you and your experience. There's a way to do it, and I'm here for you. So you're kind of reinforcing that collaborative approach. Offer them a vehicle. If they're having trouble, getting it out, help them find it. It could come in different ways. It could be physical, like running, going for a run, or just a way to get it out. It could be words, but ultimately you're going to know your kid the most, and you're going to know what's best for them, likely. So yeah, help them find that vehicle for their expression. Could be an art project. And seek professional help. I would encourage that. Yeah, let's think. Where are we? Okay. Run low on time. Yep. That would be the probably the best ways to follow through with that. But yeah, helping them. And remember, you're the adult, so stay in logic. Teach the kids, show them how. Don't do it for them, offer them autonomy, but build on their success and build on their interest and encourage. Always encourage. Use your resources, family class meetings, different schedules that you can bring all the adults and all the caregivers in with this one unifying purpose. Yep. Show them that they can belong if they're not perfect. Like it's okay to not be perfect. None of us are. We learn that throughout life, and help them learn that as a kid. Don't give up. Yep. Small steps help. Break the small steps down if needed to, or larger steps into smaller steps. Focus on assets. Don't pity. Don't give up. Set up opportunities for success and then encourage those successes. Teach the kids how. Show the kids how. Don't do it for them. Again, offer autonomy. Encourage their successes. Build on their interests. Encourage, and follow through. And use your resources as well. Other caregivers, that sort of thing. Oh, thanks for tuning in. On behalf of myself, the MST team, and North Range Behavioral Health, next week my coworker Tanya will be providing information related to benefits of limits and structure for teenagers. Again, if you haven't seen Rebecca's on systemic parenting and strategies for staying connected, that was a really good one, and she did a really great job at setting me up for my next one, and Tanya's coming up next, so a little bit of a series here. I hope you tune in for the MST portion of these Coffee with the Counselors. If you or someone you know has experienced a behavioral health emergency, call or text call our crisis line at 970-347-2120. You can walk into the Crisis Center at 928 12th Street, Greeley, Colorado, or text TALK to 38255. You can also call our Colorado Spirit COVID-19 support warm line at 970-347-2359 if you just need to talk. Thank you, and again, on the 17th at 9 a.m., that's when Tanya's on next. Thanks.